For your entire life, you have been told a lie. Not a small one, a foundational one. One that sits at the very beginning of human civilization and shapes everything we think we know about our ancient past. You were taught that the pyramids of ancient Egypt, the most extraordinary structures ever built by human hands, were constructed by slaves, hundreds of thousands of them, beaten, starved, and worked to death under the blazing Egyptian sun by ruthless pharaohs who cared nothing for human life. You saw it in movies. You read it in textbooks. You heard it repeated so many times it became fact. But here is the truth. That story, every single part of it, is completely wrong. And what archaeologists actually discovered is so much more extraordinary, so much more remarkable, that it raises questions historians are still struggling to answer today. In 1990, a horse stumbled. That single moment, an accident near the Giza plateau, led to one of the most important archaeological discoveries in modern history. The horse's owner, riding near the base of the pyramids, was thrown from his saddle when the animal tripped over what appeared to be a low stone wall, partially buried in the sand. Investigators were called, and what they began to uncover beneath the desert surface was not another tomb, not another temple, but an entire city. A purpose-built, carefully planned, remarkably sophisticated city, constructed specifically to house the people who built the pyramids. This was not a slave camp. This was not a prison settlement. What archaeologists found here permanently destroyed the slave narrative forever. And what it revealed about the people who actually built the pyramids will genuinely change how you see the ancient world. The site became known as the Lost City of the Pyramid Builders. Led by legendary Egyptologist Mark Lenner, excavations revealed a settlement capable of housing between 10,000 and 20,000 people at any given time. But it was not what they found in the buildings that shocked researchers most. It was what they found in the ground beneath them, the remains of the people who lived there. Skeletal analysis of the pyramid builders revealed something that no slave narrative could ever explain. These people received medical care, advanced medical care, broken bones that had been expertly set and had fully healed, surgical amputations that showed clear signs of post-operative survival, spinal injuries consistent with heavy labor, but treated and managed over long periods of time. Slaves in the ancient world did not receive medical treatment. They were replaced. The people buried near the pyramids were not replaced. They were healed, and they went back to work because they were not slaves. They were skilled workers, valued, respected, essential. If you are finding this as fascinating as we do at Obsidian Archives, hit that like button right now. It helps more people discover these hidden stories. And keep watching, because what comes next is even more extraordinary. The workers were divided into teams, and we know this because they told us themselves. Ancient graffiti found inside the pyramid shafts, scrawled by the workers during construction, names their teams proudly: the Friends of Khufu, the Drunkards of Menkaure. These were not the writings of broken slaves. These were the marks of proud craftsmen, leaving their signatures on one of the greatest building projects in human history. They worked in rotating shifts, teams of around 2,000 men cycling in and out over months at a time. They came from all across Egypt. Some evidence suggests they came voluntarily, recruited as a form of national service, in honor. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to work on something that would outlast everything they had ever known.
But here is where the story becomes truly extraordinary. Because feeding, housing, and organizing 10,000 to 20,000 skilled workers is itself an engineering challenge of staggering proportions. Archaeologists found evidence of industrial-scale bakeries capable of producing thousands of loaves of bread daily, enormous brewery facilities, cattle, sheep, and goat, remains suggesting a meat ration that would be considered generous, even by modern standards. The pyramid builders ate well, better, in many documented cases, than average ancient Egyptians living outside the project. This was not the diet of slaves. This was the diet of a valued workforce being maintained at peak physical condition to perform the most important construction project their civilization had ever attempted. And then there is the question of the construction itself, because even accepting that skilled, willing workers built the pyramids, the engineering remains almost impossible to explain. The Great Pyramid of Giza contains approximately 2.3 million stone blocks. Each block weighs between 2.5 and 15 tons. The heaviest blocks, used in the inner chambers, weigh up to 80 tons. They were quarried, transported, lifted, and placed with a precision so extraordinary that modern engineers, using laser measurement technology, have found alignment errors of less than 1/10 of a single degree across the entire structure. Let that sink in. The ancient Egyptians, with no computers, no modern surveying equipment, no steel, no engines, built a structure so precise that we struggle to replicate it today. The Great Pyramid was the tallest structure on Earth for 3,800 years. No building surpassed its height until the construction of Lincoln Cathedral in England in 1311 AD. Think about that. For nearly 4,000 years, nothing humanity built came close. If you have made it this far into this story, you are exactly the kind of curious mind that Obsidian Archives was built for. Subscribe right now so you never miss what we uncover next. Every week we go deeper into the stories history forgot. So how did they do it? How did people without modern technology move and place stones, weighing up to 80 tons, with sub-degree precision, at a height of 146 meters? The honest answer is, we still do not fully know. But recent discoveries have given us remarkable clues. In 2013, a papyrus scroll was discovered at the ancient port of Wadi el-Jarf. It is the oldest papyrus ever found in Egypt, and it is a diary, written by a man named Merer, an inspector who oversaw a team of elite workers during the construction of the Great Pyramid. Merer describes in careful detail how his team transported massive limestone blocks by boat along specially constructed waterways, canals that connected the Nile to the Giza plateau. The logistics described are breathtaking in their complexity. This was not brute force construction. This was a project managed with the organizational sophistication of a modern corporation, 4,500 years ago. What does all of this mean? It means the people of ancient Egypt were not the primitive civilization our history books implied. They were engineers of the highest order, administrators of extraordinary capability, a society organized, motivated, and technically skilled enough to build structures that have outlasted every empire, every monument, and every building that came after them. The pyramids were not built by slaves driven by fear. They were built by citizens driven by purpose, by pride, by belief in something larger than themselves. And that, more than any engineering mystery, is perhaps the most extraordinary truth of all. This has been Obsidian Archives. The truth history forgot. If this story changed how you see ancient Egypt, subscribe to this channel and leave a comment below telling me what shocked you most about the real pyramid builders. I read every single comment. Next week on Obsidian Archives, we go underground. Beneath the streets of a modern city lies an ancient world so vast, so perfectly preserved, that the archaeologists who found it could not speak about it for years. You will not want to miss it. See you in the next discovery.